Hello everybody, welcome along to Sportsbet TV with me, Paul Alster. I'm looking ahead to the action at York on the final day of the Ebor fixture on Saturday the 24th of August. It's good to be back with you after the break last week. It has been a quiet month. I've only given you 3 tips so far, although 2 of those have placed at odds of 25 to 1 and 17 to 2. So we're nicely ahead on the month. But I've got those 2 selections for you today, both at York. If you're interested in more than 2 selections, then over at Out in Front, my subscription service, the description for which and the link you can find in the box just below this screen, you'll be able to click through and sign up. I'm looking at 4 races across the card tomorrow, including having selections for the Ebor Handicap. So that's at Out in Front. And if you happen to be new to this service here at Sportsbet, where I offer my selections free and under no obligation to listen to what I say or to back them, it is your discretion, absolutely. Then just press the subscribe button if you want to stay in touch, as thousands of people do following what I've got to say, because they know that over the more than 4 years I've been tipping horses at big prices each way. I've been consistently showing good profits across seasons and calendar years. I'm going to start off straight away with the first race at York on Saturday, which is the 225. It's the Melrose Handicap, a race for 3-year-olds only over the Ebor trip of 1 3/4 miles, and there are 16 runners. Now, of course, we don't quite know what the going is going to be, because there are reports that there could be some bits of nasty weather flying around. There could be showers that really send a lot of rain to York. Then again, they could miss. So we don't know quite what's going to be happening with the ground, but we're assuming it'll be good ground, more or less. Now, a combination of both bookies and punters appearing to have little or no clue in this wide open staying handicap has resulted in them betting 7 to 1 the field. 7 to 1 the field here. And that includes William Haggis's Dramatic Star, who was unlucky when slipping badly on the turn at Royal Ascot last time, after which he was eased to a walk. And also 7 to 1 the Aidan O'Brien trained The Equator, who was 5th in the Group 2 Queen's Vase at the same meeting prior to running a solid second in a Navan conditions race last time out. And also Andrew Balding's Wild Waves is 7 to 1 and is on a hat-trick mission after also slipping on the turn, which seems to be becoming quite trendy this season. And that was in the home straight at Haydock last time out. After that, he was eased. And these 3 at 7 to 1 had a very well-matched field. They've all got sound chances. Now, another one for Andrew Balding is Tactician, a horse with no stamina doubts because he scored over 2 miles at Ascot last time. He's gone up £5 for that, but he takes on better horses here. However, he's clearly in really good heart at the moment. And then King Charles will probably be watching on because his horse, Reaching High, trained by Sir Michael Stout, won a decent all-weather race last time. It's another one vying for favouritism at around the 15 to 2 mark. Whether it's going to be good enough, I don't know. And Jessica Harrington runs 2 in the race for Ireland. Mo Guillemard steps up in class and in distance after a good win last time. But I think of more interest for Jessie is Going Remote, who's up £5 for a win in the Showgirl Cup last time and has got the excellent Colin Keane on board. Now, Tom Clover is a young trainer whose horses are running really well. His Al Nair only just missed out on the Group 2 Lonsdale Cup on Friday. And he's got one called Table Talk in this. It was 3rd at Ascot over 1.5 miles last time, having previously been outclassed in the Derby. I think it's worth a second glance at Table Talk as it goes up in trip here. But my selection is a horse called Champagne Prince, trained by Jane Chapelheim and the mount of Callum Shepherd. Champagne Prince, I think, represents a yard having a really good season. As we know, they won the July Cup, amongst other things. And he began this horse by winning his first 2 starts on the all-weather last autumn, over 7 furlongs, and then he was off for well over 4 months, and then ran moderately when he was last of 7 behind Hartem on his turf debut at Newmarket in the spring at the Group 3 Craven Stakes, the 2,000 guineas trial. And it appeared that he possibly found the run down into the dip unsuitable. Some horses just don't handle it. But he ran another poor race at Newmarket in his most recent run on the July course, or his run after that on the July course. And it might just be that there's also undulations on that course, and he might just not like Newmarket, full stop, because he really bounced back last time out when he was stepped up from 1 mile to 1.5 miles, a big step up in trip in the Showgirl Cup Classic. and he stayed on really strongly from the furlong pole, and he only failed in the end by a neck to reel in Going Remote, who he takes on again and who he's now £2 better off with. I think that the additional 2 furlongs on Saturday could bring about further improvement in this horse. He's still unexposed, and so at 9-1 each way for 5 places with most firms at the time of this recording, Champagne Prince is the choice for me in the Melrose Handicap to step up in trip and step up to the winner's enclosure too. My second selection at York on Saturday is in the finale, the last race of the day there, the last race of the Ebor Festival of 2024. It's a 1.25 mile heritage handicap, good ground and 17 runners. It's another real conundrum to round out what is always an excellent week on the Knaves Mile. And one of my favourite horses currently in training is Ron O, trained by Ray Craggs in the Northeast. He's the early market leader at 11-2, having run consistently well at this level throughout the season. Also has stepped up in trip to give himself more options. And I think he'll again run a rock-solid race, but he is now £6 above his last winning mark. And I just feel that, honest as he is and genuine, I think he might find 1 or 2 too good for him. Another thoroughly genuine and consistent horse is the Richard Fahey trained Have Secret. He's £4 better off with Rono for a 2-length beating over the course and distance last month, and a rock-solid third at Yarmouth, and then at Chepstow again since then. Richard Fahey has added cheap pieces for the first time, which might just eke out those few pounds more improvement, making Have Secret a serious contender. And among a mass of other horses capable of getting involved in a wide-open race if things go their way, Bystander for Carl Burke, Lucinda Russell's Chichester, Paradius for Alan King, and Rathgar for Jack Shannon are worth at the least a glance. I think they could all have some sort of a say in it. But my choice here, my selection for the finale at York Saturday is Dual Identity, trained by William Knight, and another one written by Callum Shepherd, who I'm hoping will have a really good day. Dual Identity is another tough and consistent handicapper, but this season he's had more than his fair share of bad luck in his races, including at both Sandown and York last month. At this track, York finding trouble when travelling really sweetly in the John Smith's Cup over course and distance. He would surely have got much closer, and he may well have at least finished in the places that day. And then again, last time out, a glorious Goodwood in the Chesterfield Cup. Things just didn't pan out right for him, but he ran on well to finish 5th of the 17 runners there behind Take Heart to grab place money for my followers at Out in Front. Anyway, any ease in the ground, if there is rain, it won't be a problem for Dual Identity. He's one on up to soft ground, but he goes equally well on a sand surface. And in the hope that things finally drop his way, I think Dual Identity is the one to be on. He's 11-1 each way at the time of this recording for 5 places with most firms. So Dual Identity, along with the early recommendation of Champagne Prince, they're my 2 at York on Saturday. If you're interested in 4 more races that I've analysed and offered selections for, check the link in the description box just beneath this screen, and you can join me without any long-term obligation over at Out in Front. That's it then for this week. I hope you have a really good weekend, and I, of course, will be back next weekend at the same time with my thoughts here at Sportsbet. Bye-bye for now.